Serving all of Michiana from South Bend, we are WSBT TV. Rebecca Marr. Rod Johnson. Weather with Pam Land. Michiana's only midday local news. On the station where news comes first, WSBT TV.
Good afternoon, everyone. A Florida man has been arrested on charges of shipping large amounts of cocaine into Elkhart. And the ISTEP results are in for area first graders, and they don't look very good for South Bend. Rod, in some areas, churches are closing, but you have some news about folks who are building a church.
Certainly are. The Pentecostal Church of God in Christ is building a new church, and this is going to allow them to have some programs for the community as well.
Sounds great. And Pam Land.
Oh, I just took a peek outside and the sun is starting to shine, and that's a sign of good news.
Oh, yes. Okay. And in the news today, a Florida man has been arrested for shipping what federal officials say was in excess of 4 kilograms of cocaine into the Elkhart area over a 1.5-year period. Paul Caluette of Jupiter, Florida, was arrested in Florida. He's expected to be brought to South Bend within the next 10 days for arraignment. The 17 counts against him accuse Caluette of sending the cocaine by mail and by interstate courier to Elkhart County. If convicted of all charges, Caluette could be sentenced up to over 240 years in prison and $10 million in fines. The St. Joseph County Park Board will ask the County Council to appropriate $30,000 from park funds to pay for legal fees and its court battle over Spicer Lake property. The board adopted a resolution today to use money from the department's cash balance. Board President Sam Mercantini says the money was set aside for emergency situations and will not affect the park's operating budget. The board needs the money for legal fees as it continues to appeal a lower court judgment in connection with the purchase of 78 acres of land adjacent to the Franklin D. Schurz Nature Center at Spicer Lake. The board condemned the property owned by State Representative B. Patrick Bauer and paid him $55,000. Bauer later won a court judgment of $195,000 plus an additional $75,000 for legal fees and interest. The park board is appealing that decision and the denial of its motion to drop the condemnation suit. The St. Joseph County Plan Commission will conduct a public hearing this afternoon on an appeal of its Plat Committee approval of the Portage Realty development at Tawny Lake in Clay Township. The digging of the lake last year drew opposition from area residents who charged that the Kiefer Ditch dried up as a result of that work. A group calling itself the Clay Citizens Water Quality Assurance Group is voicing its concerns about possible health hazards if the water table has been lowered. Construction on the site has been stopped by the EPA as it works with Portage Realty on a way to restore wetlands destroyed by that construction. The corrected results of the ISTEP tests for first graders are back, and for some school systems it's good news, but for others it's not so good. The South Bend School Corporation says it believes there is still a problem in its results. The corrected test results show 13.4% of its first graders failed the test and will have to go to summer school. But Dr. Robert Fallon says he believes those numbers are still too high and still may be wrong. In Mishawaka, the numbers were better. 4.7% of their first graders failed. That's more in line with Mishawaka's average failure rate of 4%. And in the Penn-Harris-Madison system, 4.2% of the first graders there failed the test, higher than their system-wide average of 2.8%. Talks have broken off in negotiations between Mishawaka teachers and the school administration. Discussions ended late last night after both sides could not agree on the number of work days for teachers. According to the Mishawaka Education Association, no new talks have been set. Bruce Shannon, president of the association, says the board returned to its hardline stance in negotiations. Shannon says the teachers would be glad to return to the bargaining table when give-and-take talks are possible. Last week, more than 120 teachers voted in favor of a job action. Instructors decided to ask for their summer pay in advance. School administrators will know later this month if Mishawaka School will have to borrow money to pay the teachers. The Elkhart City Council gave its stamp of approval last night to a vicious dog ordinance that satisfies dog owners in the area. The ordinance covers all breeds, unlike the original proposal that names specific breeds. It now states that dogs will be judged individually to determine if they are vicious.
Going to determine whether it is a vicious dog or a dangerous dog. Is the action of the animal itself, not just for the name of the breed. So I think that's good. As a pet never shows any propensity to be vicious then it shouldn't fall under that category.
I think it's extremely good ordinance. I like the ordinance, and it's got some new cruelty statutes in it that we've never had before.
Provision of that ordinance calls for a pet census to be taken every 5 years. The first one will be taken next year. Highway speeds around Indiana are increasing, but the number of speeding tickets issued by police is down. A study by Purdue University researchers found drivers are having a hard time slowing down from 65 miles an hour to a 55-mile-an-hour speed. People are not making the distinction between rural stretches of interstate, where 65 has been allowed since June, and all other highways. State police issued more than 77,000 tickets for speeding during that period, compared with nearly 101,000 the year before. Having a healthy baby should be the goal of every mother-to-be. But if she's a teenager, chances are she's not getting the medical care she needs during the first 3 months of her pregnancy. A lack of prenatal care among adolescents, plus blacks and Hispanics, is the single greatest cause of premature births and a high infant mortality rate in St. Joseph County. The death rate among blacks was 18 per 1,000 live births in 1986, twice the rate of white infants. A major community effort to address this problem in St. Joseph County was kicked off this morning. The Healthy Babies Project involves over 20 organizations, including the school system, religious groups, government, and the media. The goal is to get 90% of pregnant women to seek prenatal care by the year 1990.
Needs to know that there is a problem of infant mortality, that that there are preventable solutions to the problem, and that is prenatal care services. Women have to get in and use prenatal care services earlier and regularly throughout their pregnancy.
The community effort is being funded through a grant from the state, plus the March of Dimes and Memorial Hospital. Officials kicked off the local version of National Tourism Week today. A news conference was conducted this morning in front of Coveleski Stadium with proclamations from the city of South Bend, Mishawaka, and St. Joseph County. Tourism in the visitors industry ranks as the third largest in generating payroll dollars in St. Joseph County. South Bend Mayor Joseph Kernan said the results is a large number of business-related jobs generated by the tourism industry.
It's an economic development asset that employs some 15,000 people in our community. And the reason that that works is also, as Becky said, because of teamwork. And we certainly have evidence of the public sector being involved with some things like the ballpark behind us, the East Raceway, Century Center. And those things would not have been possible but for the support and the assistance of the private sector.
St. Joseph County ranks second in the state behind Indianapolis in terms of tourist dollars coming into a community. And it'd be a great day for visiting St. Joe County, wouldn't it?
A little on the cool side, but we can't complain. We're starting to see some sunshine today, and the weather's just going to start improving as we get on into the week.
Great.
With warmer temperatures.
Oh, love it.
I'll be back with a complete look at the forecast, and we'll take a look at the 5-day outlook when I return.
Almost anything, Big R's got it.
For protection worth its weight in gold, save on Kendall 10W30 and 10W40 motor oil this week, only 49 cents a quart after rebate, limit 12 quarts. Get the job done with Makita, a 3/8 cordless drill, just $49.95, or a 4-inch disc grinder, only $59.95. But hurry, price is good through Saturday only.
Almost anything, Big R's got it. Big R stores at your Big R stores.
Pontiac Excitement Days are hot in May. Right now, the family cars with Pontiac Excitement are on sale. Save hundreds on Pontiac 6000, Bonneville, Grand Am, Pontiac Excitement, Pontiac Savings. Only at your Michiana Pontiac dealers. Only for the month of May. If you thought a family car had to be boring, think again. See your local Michiana Pontiac dealer now. There's one near you.
I'm very happy with the price I paid for these glasses. I'm very content. I'll go back again.
I always like a bargain, and I think they're a great bargain. Price-wise, best ever.
Very, very competitive.
Oh, golly, you just can't beat the prices. The prices are terrific. I was really happy with the price I paid for these glasses.
C&B Optical, price-wise, best ever.
Like I said, you can't beat it.
Buying your home is not just one of the biggest financial investments you'll make in a lifetime, but also one of the most emotional. That's why it's wise to have your mortgage with Sobieski Federal Savings and Loan. The friendly staff at Sobieski will guide you step by step. And right now, we have mortgage money at very competitive rates for single-family residential home buyers. Visit Sobieski's Mortgage Department in the Belleville Shopping Center and discover the solid one. Sobieski, since 1893.
Well, we're starting to see an improvement in the weather. Some broken clouds across Indiana. We're going to see a combination of clouds and sunshine all day long. We're starting to warm up just a little bit, currently 64 degrees. Winds are out of the northeast at 12 miles per hour. The relative humidity is 58%, and the barometer is holding steady, 30.02. Well, there's some rain and foggy conditions across much of the northeast, and that will be continuing. Rainy activity will be widespread from New Jersey all the way down in the southern sections of Florida. This is all due to a low-pressure system, the counterclockwise flow of air from the moisture coming off the Atlantic. More rain across the western half of the nation. As you can see, this frontal system will be bringing some rain all the way from the northern Rockies down into the southern sections of California, but from the Great Lakes all the way down to the southern plains, beautiful sunny skies, and that is due to this high-pressure system. Well, our temperatures will be a little bit warmer than yesterday. Yesterday's high was 65 degrees. We'll be bordering between 68 and 70 degree readings as a high. And as you can see, much of the nation will be enjoying 80 degree readings and some summer-like conditions down across the desert southwest all the way down into Texas with 90 degree readings. By tomorrow, well, our temperatures will be warming up just a little bit, and the high-pressure system will keep us on the sunny side as well. More rain will be along this eastern half of the nation. Again, this cold front really isn't going to go anywhere, and we're going to be seeing rainy activity on throughout the afternoon hours. It'll be pushing off by later on tomorrow evening. More rain will be widespread across this cold frontal system from the Pacific Northwest down across the northern Rockies. Really the same weather pattern as we're seeing today. Once again, we're going to see plenty of sunny skies, and that'll be due to the high-pressure system. Rain to the east and rain to the west, and we're going to have clear and dry conditions for the next couple of days. The forecast calls for partly sunny skies today. Little on the cool side. We'll bounce back and forth between 68 and 70 degree readings. The winds will be out of the northeast, 10 to 15 miles per hour. Then for this evening, clearing, cool conditions once again, a low of 42 degrees. And then for tomorrow, mostly sunny skies, a very pleasant day, and we'll be warming up into the 70s. Let's take a look now at the 5-day outlook, calling for sunny skies Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, with a chance for an isolated thunder shower on Friday. Mild conditions into the 70s on Thursday, warming up Friday and Saturday with temperatures around 80 degree readings. And on Sunday and Monday, partly cloudy, highs in the upper 70s to low 80s. And our WSBT umbrella winner is Steve Rusnick, and he's from Northwest Webster, Indiana. Congratulations. And Rod Johnson will be up next with a look at sports.
Another sweet onion is coming to market, and we'll tell you more about it later on.
People have always given each other flowers. You know why? Because there's no better way to say I love you.
And there's no better place to find your spring garden flowers than Barner's Greenhouse on Fur Road just north of the Indiana-Michigan line. Barner's has geraniums starting at 2 plants for 50 cents, cemetery baskets and 1-gallon euonymus plants for $3, and flats of annual bedding plants for only $6.
Come see us when you want to give a special gift.
On Fur Road just north of the Indiana-Michigan line.
Sir, would you choose hamburger A, a fresh Wendy's hamburger, or hamburger B that's made ahead of time so it gets dry?
Let me just say, given the state of my current political agenda and/or broad-based concern for my constituents, expressed with the full support of my lovely wife, Marie, Adele, it is with utmost confidence that I choose hamburger B.
But most Americans prefer the fresh Wendy's hamburger.
Exactly, which is why I stand unequivocally behind hamburger A. B.
Most Americans prefer the taste of fresh hamburgers, like Wendy's, the best burgers in the business.
Wake up to the hottest sale of the season, the Sunshine Sale at Target, with huge savings on everything you need for the sun. Hurry, or you could be left completely in the dark.
Class, what do we say when a customer asks about Kroger quarter-inch trim? Max?
Alex, I say we have 10 to 30% less fat on our beef than a lot of stores.
Right, but what does that mean? Max?
Better value, Instead of paying for fat, you're paying for beef.
Right. Now, class, what's the last thing we say to our customers? Max. Thank you, Max.
Oh, you're welcome, Alex.
Taste the difference. Go Krogering.
Whole pork loin sliced free into chops, 14 to 17 pound average, only 98 cents a pound.
In sports, 19 cars made it on to the Indianapolis Speedway yesterday to practice, and most notably was Mario Andretti, who got his already qualified Lola up to 216 miles per hour, and record-setting pole winner Rick Mears had the Penske team's backup PC-17 up to more than 215 miles per hour. 9 of the cars on the track yesterday have already qualified, and the crews were working on race day setups. The Atlanta Hawks have tied their series with the Boston Celtics by beating the Celts in Atlanta yesterday, 118 to 109. Dominique Wilkins scored 40 points for the winners, and Doc Rivers handed off a record-setting, or record-tying, rather, 22 assists. Larry Bird had 30 points for the Celtics. And the series returned to Boston for Game 5. One of the 2 NBA playoff games on schedule for tonight finds the Mavericks playing Denver. The Nuggets will probably be forced to play without their star guard, Lafayette LeVert. LeVert is listed as very doubtful for tonight because of a knee injury. And in baseball yesterday, the South Bend White Sox lost to the Rockford Expos last night by a score of 6-3. In the major leagues, the Yankees beat the Mariners 3-1, and Oakland shut out Boston. The White Sox lost to Toronto Blue Jays by 4, and Detroit was a 3-1 loser to the Brewers. Kansas City edged out the Rangers 7-6, and in the National League, the Reds won by 2 over the Braves, and Houston defeated Pittsburgh 9-2. The Phillies shut out the Giants, and the Mets defeated the Padres 7-4. And that's it in sports. Now here's John Trott with the market report. John?
Thanks, Rod. Good afternoon, everyone. Grain futures opened mixed, but quickly turned higher this morning on the Chicago Board of Trade. Analysts said dry weather fears continue to dominate the market, with some private forecasters predicting an extended period of dryness in the Corn Belt. Analysts said there's no ceiling on the soybean market. If dry weather continues, soybean futures have gained more than 60 cents a bushel so far this month. And in early trading today, wheat was 1.5 cents lower to 1 cent higher, with May at 3.19. Corn was 1/2 to 1.5 cents higher, with May at 207 3/4. Oats were 1/2 to 1 cent lower, with May at 162 3/4. And soybeans 1.5 cents lower to 2.5 cents higher, with May at 748.5. Barrels and gilts opened $1 higher this morning. 1 to 3 240 pounders are selling from 50.50 to 51.50. Slaughter steers and heifers opened mostly 50 higher. 1075 to 1450 pound steers are bringing $76.50 to $78. Some livestock experts say early cattle sales may result in tighter beef supplies and increased prices this fall. Drought conditions are so bad in parts of Texas and the northern plains that ranchers are selling cattle now rather than in the fall. Iowa State University economists say more cattle being sold now would drive prices down slightly, but they say the long-term effect would be higher prices. Scant rainfall and snowmelt have caused a problem in the upper Missouri River Basin. The Army Corps of Engineers say water levels in 6 reservoirs are lower than they have been in the 22 years that records have been kept. The Corps says it's a cause for concern because it's the 2nd straight year that rainfall and snowmelt have been below normal. And Purdue scientists predict that this year's dry spring could supply the perfect ingredients for weed control problems. Dan Childs, an extension weed specialist, says dry weather early in the spring combined with late spring rains could give some farmers problems. Childs says rotary hoeing is a good weed control method if a pre-emergence herbicide hasn't been activated by rain. The hoe will pop up the small weeds out of the ground and help incorporate the herbicide so it'll be activated by soil moisture. Rod?
Thank you, John. And if you're looking for a sweet, mild onion, listen to Joe Carcione today. He's going to tell us about some beautiful red, sweet Italian onions that are coming to market now.
I know that many of you folks are constantly searching for sweet and mild onions. And several weeks ago, I told you I would remind you as each area comes in that produces sweet and mild onions that sell at very, very reasonable prices or fairly reasonable prices. I know there's another area in the United States that grows sweet and mild onions, and that's Maui, but they don't sell for a reasonable price. They're very, very expensive. Well, the first sweet and mild onions to come in are those from the Rio Grande Valley, and right now there's a lot of them, and they're selling at low prices, and they're very mild and sweet. The second area to come in is the San Joaquin Valley of California, and it's the red onion that is sometimes referred to as the red, sweet Italian onion. Well, anyway, folks, this is a marvelous onion for salads. It's great sliced up as a hamburger. It's great sliced up in the sandwiches. It's great sliced up and then just used as a decoration. It's just a really marvelous onion. And I'll tell you one thing about, you see this onion is nice and peeled and it looks beautiful. But you know, when the red onion lays on the counter for about, I'd say about 1 week or a week and a half, then the outside leaves turn very, very black and they don't look good at all. So what the clerk does, he peels the leaves off, and when he peels the leaves off, what you see is a beautiful skin that's nice and bright and pink. But you know what he does? He raises the price about 40%, and believe it or not, people buy them. Joe Carcione, your greengrocer, with your tip for the day.
Building a new church takes not only money, but much time and effort on the part of the congregation. And we'll find out how one group, the Pentecostal Church of God in Christ, is coming along next on Midday News.
The dreams of Olympic champions come to life this summer, and every summer as special athletes meet to compete in the Special Olympics Summer Games. We'll make a contribution to the Special Olympics for every Spartan brand and other designated products you buy. And that includes sale items like this week's Spartan regular and thick sliced bacon, just $1.19 a pound. And Spartan margarine quarters, 4 one-pound boxes are just $1. The dreams of Special Olympians, made possible in part by Spartan stores and you. It's a great feeling.
Make a fast dash to win some quick cash, $100,000 cash. All you need are quick ears, fast feet, and Sunny 101.5. Win $101 plus a chance to dash for $100,000 cash. For complete details, run and turn on Sunny 101.5 FM, where you hear your favorite music of the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Dash for cash from Sunny 101.5 FM.
Hi, I'm Dr. Schaefer, a chiropractic. I'd like for you to have a free initial exam at no cost right away.
Lower back pain. I couldn't move in bed. I could not